Welcome to your piano lesson. If you're here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda. If you want to discover interesting facts about me, you can watch the introduction video of the channel. I'm leaving the link in the description below. If you are interested in the content of my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm aiming to publish 2 weekly tutorials. Now let's dive into the lesson. This is the second lesson about the chords. The previous lesson has been an introduction to how to build up the chords. And I have also mentioned which ones are the ones that we will be using at the beginning, the 3 primary chords, and I also spoke about the chord on the 6th, that is I would say the chord of the relative minor of each key signature. But today the lesson will be about the 3 primary chords, the chord on the 1st, on the 4th and on the 5th, and we will learn how to connect them. To do so, you have to become the master of the inversions. We have to learn very well how to invert the chords. The 3 main positions of the chords are the root position, first inversion and second inversion. We are referring obviously to the triads, to the normal and basic triads. But another thing that will be very important to connect very well the chords will be the principle of the connection of the chords. We could even say the principle of a very good voicing. We have to learn how to connect the chords and how we can move from one to another one. Let's dive into the lesson. If we stay in the key of C major, we said that the chords are C major, F major and G major. Now let's start from the understanding of the inversions. This is C major in root position. Now if you take the C and you push up, this is the first inversion. The lowest note now is the E. That was the second, you see? You take the C, you move it here, and this is the first inversion. If you take now the E and you move it up 1 octave higher, it turns the second inversion. So C major in root position, C major in first inversion, C major in second inversion. But we can do the same with all of them. Also F major root position. Maybe let me move a little bit closer to the camera. So this is F major root position, F major in first inversion, F moved up, and if you move A up, F major in second inversion. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. We can do the same with the G major as well. G major in root position, take the G, move it up. G major in first inversion, take the B, move up. G major in second inversion. This is very important because you don't have to play, unless you don't really want, you don't have to play the chords moving always in this way, moving up and down and moving these blocks. We have to learn how to connect them. And indeed, now let's talk about the second very important principle. The principle of the voicing, of a very good voicing, a very good connection of the chords. Pay attention. If I have to move from C either to F or from C to G, we have to analyze the notes that are making the chords. Let's now talk about the first, C major, and the 4th, F major. If the notes of C major are C, E and G, C, E and G, and the notes of F major are F, A and C, is the C in common with the C major? Oh yes, of course it is. And we have just now, if we pin the C and we keep it here, and we simply move these 2 notes 1 step to the right, E turns F, G turns A, look what happened from C major, you move to the F major in second inversion. We are connecting in this way, finally, C to F. We can go either down or up with the bass. And let's do the same, understanding what C and G, if they have any, what they have in common, if there is any note in common. If C major is a C, E and G, but G starts from the last note of the C major, isn't it? It's made of G, B and D. And then what can we do? If we pin now the top note of the C major, look what we can do. We move down the C to the B and the E to the D. And we are connecting now C major to the G major. G major will be in first inversion. So obviously the bass as well can do either this or this. We have understood that we can move from C to F, moving from C major in root position to F major in second inversion, obviously moving the bass either up or down, either up 1/4, down 1/5, and same story with the G. We can move from C major to G major. G major will be in first inversion where the C was in root position. Same story with the bass, either 1/5 up or 1/4 down. But what about now connecting F and G? This is a big problem for many. Because F and G, since we build up F and G on two consecutive notes on the scale, they have nothing in common. F, A, C, and then G is made with the remaining ones, the ones that are in between the notes of F major, G and B, plus one that is on the right. So two notes, two chords that start from two consecutive notes, they will never have any note in common. And what does it mean? That to make a very good connection, for a very good voicing, we, instead of going up, we can move the F major down. Look, from F major, you have to find the closest position of G going simply down. But if I move these two down, I already have two notes of the G major. And if I move, so this one's down, and the F, skipping the E, I move to the D, I've got the G major in second inversion. This is the best connection, F, G, for now. In the future, at very advanced levels, and when we will discover the existence of the seventh chord, you will see that in strictly classical music, in the past, we weren't moving from the chord on the fourth to the one on the fifth, not even in this way. This one would have been forbidden because in strictly classical music there are very strict rules to respect, we had. So neither this was possible nor this, but in pop music or in contemporary music they are more than welcome, these moves. And now let's clarify what can be done and how you can have fun moving from one chord to another one. Let's now connect all of them in this way. I will keep my left hand in this position because I have under the little finger the C, here the F and here the G. Look what we can do. Starting from the root position of C. I can go first of all to the F, I come back to the C, then I go to the G and go back to the C. Look. C, F, C, G, C. I'm connecting first to the fourth, back to the first, to the fifth, back to the first. But I can do the same using a different bass. If you prefer, you can do having the thumb on the C, the fourth on the G, and the little on the F, and see which one you like the most. Obviously now I will use just one of them. You can choose the best one for you. But we can also move, instead of going back to the first, to the C, we can move now from the first to the fourth, going to the fifth and then to the first, in this way. What did I do? I saved the C that we had in common, moved to the F major in second inversion, then since we have nothing in common moving from F to G, I've applied the principle of the contrary motion. So all the notes went down, looking for the closest notes of the following chord. And we move from the F in second inversion to the G in first inversion, ending with the same identical position. You might say, okay, but what about starting from a different inversion? You're right. Why we don't start from the C major in first inversion? Now I won't play anymore the one that we have played at the beginning, moving from C to F, then back to the C, and then to the G, and then down to the C. To make it easy, we do always now C, F, G, and then we end up with a C. And let's see what happened. I start from the C major in first inversion. Now, I have to move to the F. They have in common C major in first inversion, and F major, they have the C in common. I simply move up these two. But since we said that F and G, they have nothing in common, I'm going down with the right hand notes from this position to this, to the second inversion of G, and ending in this way. And why not starting from the second inversion? I do C major, hold the C, move simply the other two in this way. G goes to A, E goes to the F. Then, since they have nothing in common, I'm pushing all of them down, looking for the closest notes of the chord. Here we are. So the F goes to the G, the C goes to the B, and the F goes to the D. From here I go here, and then I pin the G, and I end up with the C. This is what you can do. So let's simplify 1 second the possible exercises. First time, maybe you can do changing the bass, you can do the same in first inversion. Changing the bass. Second inversion. See, they have always something in common. Here I'm saving the C. Now I'm saving the G. Because when you connect, we can make it easy. When you connect the C to the F, or the chord on the first, to the chord on the fourth, you save the root of the first. That will turn the fifth of the fourth. When you connect the first to the fifth, you save the fifth of the chord on the first, the fifth note of the chord on the first. That will turn the first note of the chord on the fifth. But then after this, we said that we can have fun with this pattern. And now I will be using the bass notes in this way. Thumb for the C, fourth for the G, little finger for the F. I will do first, fourth, fifth, first. In root position. Now in first inversion. Obviously when I say first inversion or root position, I'm referring to the start. To re-clarify and to simplify, you have to become the master of the inversions, learning that the basic triads, the basic chords, they have three positions: root position, first inversion and second inversion, and you understood how to do it. And you have to also become the master of the voicing. You have to learn how to connect very well the chords, remembering the basic principle of saving the notes that two chords have in common. Chord on the first has something in common with the one on the fourth, and we understood that is the first note, let's say the root of the chord on the first. In our case, C is also in common with the F major. When you connect the first to the fifth, also we have one note in common, that is the fifth note of the C major in this very simple case, the fifth note of the chord on the first, that will turn the first of the one on the fifth. And you will connect the chords applying the principle that I've mentioned. This interesting principle that helps you making wonderful, fantastic voicing. You have to also be advised that many times, many songwriters, many composers of the past and also of the present got inspiration by simply connecting the chords. Many times the melody comes out by simply connecting the chords. And you will understand, as soon as we will dive even more into these fascinating lessons, that you can really get, simply from the connection of the chords, wonderful, interesting melodies that you can then develop and personalize. If you have any question, always don't forget to comment, let me know what you think. One challenge for you is this. I would really appreciate if you can mention in a comment the songs that are using these patterns, these ones that we are mentioning, that we are learning now, these chord progressions. First, fourth, fifth, first. Or even first, fourth, first, fifth, first. I would appreciate if you start understanding, start learning by simply listening or by reading, if you have the music sheet, which ones are the songs using these very basic chord progressions. Anyways, let me know how it's going, if you're enjoying these lessons. If it's the first time you're landing on my channel, thanks to this video, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. All the best.